Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi. They still invited me back, even though I screwed up the warning.
It's okay. Some audiences. I mean, does that mean I'm included in the audience? Or should I go to the other room?
You can go in the other room. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe later.
What's popping? You're on mute, Chad.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Chad!
We're just reading those beautiful lips of yours. Trying to
Yeah.
figure out what you're doing.
Dude,
Let's do a Mad Lib read.
We could do a bad Mad Lib
Yes.
read. Okay,
All
Chad,
right.
start talking.
You guys do what you.
Okay, there you
Can
go.
you hear me
Now we
now?
got you.
Yes, we
All
can.
right. Hey, yo, what's poppin'? I'm back. I got to hand this off to somebody.
That's what I'm talking about. Fans, let me tell you, warning. This, I know, I froze up. Okay, warning.
I didn't freeze up. It got stuck. Okay.
This isn't for all audiences.
Whoa, wait. Well, are we
Like-
starting this?
This is live right now. That was the worst Chad intro, the worst cat read. I was getting the worst legend
I'm sorry.
segue into legend and the worst response from legend ever. And you know what? We're sitting here doing this. All I'm doing is bitching about it, and we've got a perfect host waiting backstage, guys. He's back. He's
Carson!
SMH down there.
What was that? Like live from New York.
It was bad.
Not Saturday night or
It
from
was
New York.
bad.
That was not planned, folks. It was just bad.
You know what's good? The chat. We got Ricky Markstadt. He was in here 10 hours ago. 10 hours ago. And he was in here 1 hour ago. And guess who's first officially? Ricky Markstadt is first in the chat.
Ricky Martin.
Chris Barrett says
Ah,
the
boy.
Cosmic King just hit the chat, second place. Sorry about you. But he did put the link to the Discord, so
Second.
check that out. That's a lot of fun. We got Scott Evans. What is going on? Scott says, what's the haps, y'all? We got the breakout star of the Comic Core, Comic Man Andy. I listened to Andy Given Thursday while I was reading all my books today. Phenomenal show yesterday. If you guys want to know more about variants, the good, the bad, and the hideously ugly, in my opinion, check out Andy's show last night. 2 hours of pure gold from those guys over there. Definitely, I highly recommend it. Scott Evans, Danger, Will Robinson. So there you go. And then my favorite, the Stream Elements robot, holding it down, keeping
Hail to
those
the
guys,
bot.
Barrett and Ricky, in place. All right, so I guess I don't know. These things are funnier when I'm not here, but I think we'll just go ahead and get to the point. It's time for Picks of the Week. I hate my voice. But anyway, I read a few things this week. So I got Strange Adventures, which, I'm sorry, but I didn't feel like this was like the momentum of the first few issues, but still interesting to see, Batman confronts his wife at the end, and then like someone snapped a picture of his wife blowing Batman in Smoke's face. I thought that was, or Smoke in Batman's face. See, now I'm stuttering. Thanks, guys. Mediocre.
You're welcome.
Turtles, 106. Still a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, this kind of felt like a filler issue too. I'm sorry. I love Turtles, but dang. The only thing they really do in this is the little albino turtle, Lita, kind of gets lost. She discovers there's like this bigger, like maybe monster type thing eating like the children in Mutant Town. And there's like this random strange mouser we don't know about yet. So yeah, Turtles still okay. I have no clue what is going on in Death Metal. There's Dr. Manhattan, Batman who laughs brain and things. Jonah Hex was in it though, drawn by Greg Capullo, so that was kind of cool. And you get all the Flashes reuniting, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, this thing is a headache and a half. So I think I'm going to call my pick of the week a read from like either last week or 2 weeks ago, Young Justice 16. Not only was this a solid story about Bart Allen, you also get this art by, I think it's Scott Godlewski. I have never heard of this artist, and maybe I've read something of his before. I can't think if I have. But you would know his work from John Timms, and I mean that in the best way possible. I've said in the past, I really like John Timms' work on Young Justice. And Godlewski, if he's like a fill-in artist or whatever, give this guy more work because he draws an awesome Bart Allen. So basically in this one, if you read the last one, basically Connor knows something is up with Bart, basically. And basically what happened is Bart, he doesn't know what's wrong with him. He's basically running through time and space, and he has this problem where he doesn't even know how old he is. He says that in the book. He could be older than he thinks. He's not aging right. But basically, he gets in a situation where he actually runs to the future. He gets thrown into Arkham, and Harley Quinn's like the warden of Arkham. It's kind of funny. They try not to overdo it, but yeah, she's basically Hugo Strange of the future. But he also finds out while he's there that Drake, Arrowette, himself, and Wonder Girl are all dead. And it's the not too distant future, obviously. So he's kind of holding that information. But what I like about this is the ending, where basically it's putting together the original Young Justice trio and focusing on them of Bart, Connor, and Tim. And that's the book I want to read. So I think this is a great building block to their next arc. So that's my pick of the week.
That's good picks of the week, man. Drew, I saw you down below. You were doing your best Andy impersonation. Show us that comb, brother.
We're working on it, man. We're working on it.
You're going to be spending the rest of the show combing that beard, aren't you?
We're working on it. I'm just saying.
I love that black
Andy's
background.
not alone in this game. Just because Legend gave up on his beard doesn't mean I'm giving up on mine.
That's true, man. Gone too soon. It was like Jason Cantu on a Chicago night.
Why you saying that?
Drew, man, tell us about those kick-ass books you've been reading.
Man, I picked up a lot of stuff that I haven't gotten to yet, gang. I read one book this week, and it wasn't this one, but I'm super stoked about this cover on this Magneto book.
I thought it was that Wheeler and Rawson catalog from Red Dead Redemption 2. I thought you've been flipping through that book quite a bit.
I have been flipping through that book quite a bit. Got to make sure I got ammo so we can watch Chad die. And also, I'm really psyched to get into this.
Yeah,
Empire, Legend. I know that you're not investing in the whole Empire deal, but that Fantastic Four. That Fantastic Four number 0 was a lot of fun. Probably the best Fantastic Four book Dan Slott's written so far. But I did read this, man, Dark Knight's Metal. You Seawood might not know what's going on, but what's going on here is that there's like 2 first appearances in this damn thing. The art is just absolutely sick. It's completely nuts in the best way. And it's exactly what I want out of this book. It's just popcorn, stupid fun. And it's just like they threw everything at the fan, and it is all over the room now. And you just get to enjoy just insanity. There's like one bad dad joke, but beyond that, it's pretty great. It's pretty darn great. And as much as I was, sick of the Batman who laughs, the Batman who is the Darkest Knight is so much dumber, but at the same time, so much more fun. And I did a whole video about it, so go check it out if you're interested.
Dude, it's damn good.
All right.
Carson, I got to ask, before we get to Cat, we got to go to Mark. What have you been eating tonight, dude?
Wait a minute.
What the is Mark eating?
The fuck you eating?
Now you take a bite. Now your mouth is full when the spotlight is on you, dude. What's going on?
Swallow.
Okay.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
You just made him choke.
Oh my God.
Why?
Okay.
So
he's fine. It's fine. Let him take a
was,
drink. Let him take a drink.
Pinky's out for Andy.
Pinky's out.
Okay. So hopefully none of you guys throw up over this, but it was lemon pepper tuna, hot dogs, and a burrito.
God dang, dude.
With a little
I
bit of
got you
sriracha.
chimichangas.
Yeah, well, I'm saving that for breakfast.
I got him chimichangas, and he's not going to eat them now.
90 seconds in the microwave. Hopefully I remember to take it out of the plastic wrapping this time.
Oh my God.
He still ate them.
Hey, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It just tasted like a little bit of plastic.
Just as long as you don't cook the cat behind you, you're okay.
That's the midnighter. He'll put up a fight. It's fine.
Well, we do have a walk if we ever want to take him out in it.
Oh, I see what you did there. A little walk
Nope.
there, going down that route, aren't you? All right.
So
Catran, how about you?
Long walk for a short joke there, Chief.
I know, dude.
All right. So for the first time in a long time, I think I actually read more than Drew.
Nice.
True.
It's
What
damn true.
on earth? How did this happen?
I'm gonna
Anywho,
get to it. I got really drunk on Tuesday. That's what happened.
First off, I read some really great stuff this week. I read giant-sized X-Men Magneto.
What'd you think? What'd you think? Don't spoil it for me, but what'd you think?
I'm not going to spoil it for you. The art is spectacular throughout.
I'm excited for it.
And I like this book. I'm not going to spoil it for you because you said you haven't read it.
Not yet.
But I like this book. I like this book. Next, I also read Teen Titans issue 43. So Damian Wayne finally dealing with the KG Beast problem. He, as it says on the cover, this one's for Grayson. And for those of you who haven't read this, Damian's kind of going through the motions of what Batman feeds off of is everyone fears Batman. So nobody really wants to fuck with Batman, really. But his team starts to realize that he's planning something. Batman's realizing that he's planning something. And we find out that, yes, he is in fact going after KG Beast. I'm not going to spoil the ending for anyone who hasn't read it yet. But it's a pretty good ending right there. But next...
It's on my pile, too. I can't wait to get into that. I've been loving that series.
It's fun. It's pretty fun. Next, I read Dark Knight's Death Metal issue 2, and I got the Lobo cover. I have the Harley cover coming on pre-order right now, but I did love this Lobo cover. And I'm like, I kind of need this Lobo cover for the collection. And I gotta tell you, it was a hot mess, but it was so much fun.
Right. I want to know, what is Lobo doing? What, like they completely glossed over it in this issue that Lobo's on a mission. And I'm super excited to figure out what that is.
Got a good cover at least.
Yeah.
All right. So the funny thing is, none of that is my pick of the week.
What is it?
All those are spectacular books that honestly, all in their own right, deserve to be a pick of the week. 100%. They're great books. They're so much fun. I would say go out to your local shop. Stop. Go out to your local shop and pick up any of them. I love the hell out of all of them.
Well, we need more Spirit Fingers.
However, I did pick up this gloriousness. This was in my Midtown order. So this is starring Sonia Devereaux. It is Spider Shark versus Snake Bear.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. It's just as cornball as you would think.
Oh, I like that homage cover. That's pretty cool.
Cover.
Wheezy.
Very, very gorgeous right there. I did not know reading this that this is actually the 4th book in the series. So I actually went back and I ordered the original 3. That's how much I love the hell out of this. So Sonia Devereaux, she is a B-rate actress. And she stars in every cheeseball film you can possibly imagine. And when we are introduced to her, she is going on like an Elvira style talk show or, show. And they are discussing the film Spider Shark versus Snake Bear. So in this series, you find out that every single issue is her in a different film. And like, this is their like Elvira style post right there, and it's literally just the film, and the entire time they're making fun of like, oh, you shouldn't say that because of course you're gonna be the next one that dies, and it's just as cheesy as you would expect, and it's
Spider Shark.
It's a hot mess, and I love it. I love it so much. It is fantastic, and I can't wait to read the other 3 issues. I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram page, and the creator actually followed me on Instagram, so I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Did Bruce Campbell follow you on Instagram?
No, the creator of this, which is
I mean, Sonya there looks like she'd be the perfect match for old Bruce Campbell. They have the same film accolade.
I've never heard of that book until you just brought it out, and I'm going to tell you. Well, no, I think I've heard you say something about it before, about ordering it or seeing it I've solicited. Now, here's the deal: is the second you said Spider Shark versus Snake Bear, I knew that it would be for you, 110%.
So
no doubt in my mind. If I saw that book on the shelf, I'd be like, "That's a cat book. It's a cat book right there."
This is a fantastic book. This is a fabulous book. So the other issues, there's something to do with like vampires versus cheerleaders. There's like The Last Desperado is one, and it's like, I think it's like cowboys versus zombies, and I don't even remember what the other one was, but they all look like hot messes, and I love it. I love it so much, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. So 100% order, starring Sonya Devereaux, available on Midtown, and as well as American Mythology Productions. So there you go.
Legend's on mute.
Legend is on mute.
The mute button's the star of the show.
What is going on tonight?
I was gonna say, did y'all miss the Bruce Campbell joke?
No, we heard the Bruce Campbell joke.
maybe I
we didn't hear you bring it up again,
dude. I was eating the Skittles, man. I didn't want to be smacking on the camera. But American Mythologies fans, if you're not familiar with this publisher, they do the Three Stooges comics. They're also doing the Laurel and Hardy comics. And recently they've come out with a book that's Three Stooges and Laurel and Hardy. So if you're an old school fan of those old black and white shorts or those freaking two-reelers that they used to play on those Saturday and Sunday matinees, you're going to want to read some American Mythology, especially Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, and Shark. Is it Shark versus Bear? Is that the name of it?
It's Spider Shark versus Snake Bear.
Oh my God.
That's a lot going on.
That's lethal.
There.
That's lethal combo.
A lot going on there.
Spoilers.
You know, for me,
it's like a Mark burrito. There's so many ingredients.
For me, I haven't read much of anything. Now, I have been buying books, some moderns. I did buy the Fantastic Four Empire Zero after Drew said, you got to get this thing. So I got a couple of those. I got cover A and some other cover. I loved the Inyuk Lee. I loved that cover, but I just didn't want to pay the prices. So maybe later down the line when the price is right, then this Bob Barker will buy that book. But what I have been doing, and I've got some reads by the bedside, and I'll show you some of the things I intend on reading and show you some things I've read in the past that are currently mixed in with our topic of this evening. But one thing I've been doing during 2020 has been a dark year. You know, people dying, the freaking killer bees, the locust coming across the seas, COVID-19, it ain't doing so fine. And man, you've got hurricanes, earthquakes, no doubt. Volcanoes are next. And then I just automatically thought of damn Goldberg for some reason. You're next. But what I have been doing, this is a great freaking time for any of you out there to start picking up some Golden Age. Because the thing is, the baby boomers that are the main collectors of Golden Age, of course, they were born when that Golden Age hit freaking in the 40s, World War II times. But, 1939, 1945, the big boom. All of those kids, they grew up reading their Captain Marvels, their Captain America, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. They love these characters. So with them getting older and cashing out, a lot of their, investments and things they have, they want to turn that into cash so their families don't have to worry about it when they finally, go to the heaven above or the hell below. We don't know. It's just up to them, yes or no. But anyway, I'll tell you, yes, buy the Golden Age. If you got the money, buy your Golden Age now, because it's only going to get more expensive due to the fact that most younger collectors don't do a lot of the haggling. They don't do a lot of this. They don't do a lot of that. They just going to slap down that cash because they don't like talking to people. They all the digital reality of not going into the stores, but just buying online. But if you can do some haggling, you can get books like this. Marvel
Larry
Family
Haggling?
number 2. Larry Hagman, man, J.R. Ewing, one of the best, and also Major Nelson on I Dream of Jeannie, man. Classic pop culture. You only get it here. But you got Marvel Family number 2, 7.5, classic cover. You got the first time the Lieutenant Marvels get in alongside Mary, freaking Freddie Freeman. They're all here. You got Fat Billy, you got Tall Billy, and you got Hillbilly. So you got the 3 Lieutenant Marvels. Of course, I won't give you too much history on that, but if you want to know, those Lieutenant Marvels, they're basically staffers that work for Fawcett Publications, and I don't remember their names, but I'll get you that info on the down low, maybe even tomorrow on the Great Legend Show. If you didn't know, now you do. The Legends Live tomorrow morning with some Golden Age books, some Golden Age history, and more plans and more talks and filibusters about the Golden Age. And then real quick, this
live
one right
in the morning.
Here, well, in the morning. It may be that early. It may be a little
morning
later.
Show.
We got to go back to the big screen because you only see them here. 8.0 Captain Marvel Adventures, issue 22. The very first part of the Monster of Society. What is it? Okay, I don't even know what that is. Monster Society of Evil. There you go. Very first Monster Society of Evil chapter is in the back of this book. The very first serial in comics that spanned freaking multiple comic books. So the first company to do so, Fawcett Publications, long ass collection of intertwined stories that went through a ton of the Captain Marvel adventures. And this is the first Mr. Mind voice. You only hear his voice at the beginning. You'll start seeing Mr. Mind, the evil earthworm, in some panels later down the line. But the thing is, it's just a freaking awesome book, historic book. This one was creamed off-white pages. This 8.0 here is off-white pages. Just beautiful condition, beautiful quality, and just a beautiful price, because when you're the Great Legend, you're just that nice. Nice to meet you. But anyways, we got our good man, Comic Core Chad, back in the house, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, Chad? You got a pick of the week?
Yeah, my microphone broke. My earphones broke, and then I had to switch it up to the Yeti, and I don't know how to control this. It was a mess. All kinds of nuts.
Broke ass Chad having a broke ass night. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, pick of the week.
Got Yetis.
I like death metal.
Yeah.
It's a fun book, right?
Yeah, it's super fun.
What about the Batum?
The Batum?
Yeah. The Bat Atom.
Oh.
Page 1.
Yeah.
Get straight trucked over.
I actually read this to Carson earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, my favorite part about death metal is when Chad read it to me.
What? Chad's reading books to us now?
Yeah.
Where was I?
He needed help going to sleep, so I read him a book.
You know what? I'm going to start calling you when I can't sleep, okay? I'm going to say, Chad, read me a story.
You wouldn't be the only one who calls him at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I want to know?
No.
Tacos.
No.
No, not the tacos. The tacos. I had disturbing news about that. I heard that's getting shut down. Is that true?
It is.
What's getting shut down?
They're saying it's being shut down.
It's a very highly possibility.
That's a shame. I think it's alright. I think somebody should come up with it and like go a step further, because they tease you and they never show you.
That's
you know what I mean?
How it works.
Dude, just hang out with Instahos.
Yeah. Ain't no tacos. Get some Instahos.
No,
go back in time and get you some.
My pick of the week.
Vine whores.
My ultimate pick of my ultimate pick of the week was playing Red Dead last night with Legend and Drew. And Drew just going in and killing everybody and just taking out Sergio so we could.
Sergio had to get sniped.
We got less money. You know, if we would have captured Sergio alive, if we would have lassoed Sergio alive.
You know what happened 20 times before I shot him in the head?
Killed.
We got decimated.
It was
I ran up the hill,
only died
shotguns off, and then I only died
I have
once.
the fastest horse.
Only died once. What happened when I stabbed you in the street? Did you die then?
He is a black horse because black horses matter. Okay, I changed the white horse for a black horse. Thank you very much. But Black Lightning is Jefferson Pierce. That's the fastest damn horse in the game. And Sergio's dead body should have at least got on the fastest horse. But no, Drew wanted all the glory for himself.
I was the one.
It's time for the Roundtable topic of the week. God, I hope someone picked a topic.
Carson,
Why
I had
not
the
name it
greatest
Black Beauty?
idea for a topic. Our heroes in alternate realities. So many times in so many rhymes, you've heard the same stories before. The pearls fall. The spider bites Peter Parker. This, that. It's all the same old shit. But what we're going with tonight is those alternate realities, parallel universes, multiverses, crises on infinite Earths, ultimate Marvel universes, time travel back in 2015 to 1955. Biff Tannen gets the damn almanac and he changes the course of the Hill Valley's future. So tonight, fans, we're going over our heroes in alternate realities. And follow along in the chat. If you've got a recommendation you want some of us to read, let us know, because Carson, it's time for you to check the chat.
I was going to say, I want to be part of a reality where we actually check the chat. So we got Bob World is in the chat, guys. What is going on, Bob World? And I know Andy was looking for you on Facebook, so hopefully you guys can hook up over there. We got Simple Man's Comics. I think he's already had the line of the night. Says Drew looks like a floating head. It's just teeth and a beard. So shout out to Simple Man for that one. Pretty awesome there. We still got Ricky Markstadt hanging out. He just wants to make sure Mark isn't going to choke on a bone. Chris Barrett, of course, he's always here all the time. And then Mr. Gretzky says, I'll spend my money on the golden age, like Legend says, for sure. And we got Stacy's Fat Stacks. What is going on, Stacy? And this guy went live just right before we did, showing off his haul. We got the Mastodon. What is going on, Donnie? Nice to see you in the chat.
Donnie.
Moderate with that bull wrench of doom. That's the chat.
That's awesome, man. The chat is hopping tonight. I want to go to Drew Manchu. You're a big fan of the alternate realities. You've told me and you gave me recommendations of different books that had different looks that I wasn't accustomed to. Tell us about some of your favorite. I'm about to choke on some Skittles. Tell us about your favorites. Tell us about your favorite stories.
While Legend's busy tasting the rainbow over there, I'm a huge fan of alternate realities. I love what if books. I love Elseworlds books. I just love when they take a story that and that you love and they turn it on its head just a little bit. It gives you a different way of experiencing the same thing all over again. You get with, something like Back to the Future, that Legend's a huge fan of Back to the Future.
Best movies ever.
When they go back the next time and everything's different, and that it's still the same, but it's different. There are little changes here and there. It's kind of things that make you think differently about different stories. I think in comics, it's definitely one of the best mediums because it gives you the opportunity to take a different artistic approach visually to a lot of characters. I think a lot of my favorite things about alternate realities in comics are the character designs. And I loved all the heroes and villains of Spider-Gwen's universe more than I really cared for Spider-Gwen. I thought that the Daredevil as the Kingpin or Matt Murdock as the Kingpin was something that was really fun. I really enjoyed the immortal Mr. Murder Hands, which is the Wolverine of that universe, and the untouchable Shadow Cat, which was a Kitty Pryde allegory. So they did that, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that way. Then you get things like the Council of Reeds, where there's a different Reed Richards for every universe, and they're all working together. And you take that kind of concept into the comedy realm with a show like Rick and Morty, where the Council of Ricks, and there's a Morty for every universe, and it's all about hopping different dimensions and different parallel Earths, and it's just a fun way to explore characters in a new way.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. I just read recently on the CBR, they're coming out with a kick-ass Maestro storyline that talks about that universe, to where how did Maestro become Maestro, and it shows the young Maestro and Banner and everything. That's coming out, I think, I want to say in 2 months, but Marvel released on their YouTube channel a trailer for this thing, and I've never read the original Maestro storyline or whatnot. Carson,
Future Perfect.
Future Perfect. Yeah, I never read that. And I had that downloaded for a time because it was one of those things where it was either Drew, you or Carson told me it was pretty damn good. And this trailer I saw, it's on YouTube, it's on Marvel's channel. It talks about this new book coming out. So if you're a fan of that Maestro alternate, Future Perfect storyline, make sure you check out this. And normally I don't be like, I'm not all about the Marvel and anything. I love my FF, but I don't know much as Drew does on this Marvel stuff. But man, the damn trailer for this thing looked freaking awesome. And if you're a fan of the Immortal Hulk, I'm sure you're going to be a fan of seeing how Maestro came to do his thing in the future, But Chad, you like the future. Any decision you make today could have a different outcome tomorrow. And that's the great thing about alternate realities and how we do things throughout each day. What's some of the things you like about the future and alternate realities?
Like an alternate reality in the comic book versions. I mean, Carson and I share a JLA, and I think it was Superman and Superboy, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Adventures.
So there's an Elseworld story there. I mean, obviously, Kingdom Come was awesome. Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, you also get Dark Claw when they did the crossovers. I mean, there's a ton of, but like if you think about it, if it wasn't for like future books and alternate reality, we're not getting Booster Gold. We don't have Batman Beyond.
Right.
We don't have a lot of these characters that we love. So they do have major impacts, and it does have ramifications. I recently went back and I started reading, I think was it Contingency with where not Tim. Oh my goodness, Batman Beyond. Who's Terry McGinnis?
Terry McGinnis, yeah.
Terry has to escape back into the past because like there's these half cyborgs and
Terminator
taking over the future.
Is that the lead into Future's End?
Yes.
Okay, I remember.
And then it ends up being Tim Drake ends up being the Batman Beyond in the future because Terry died.
Future's End.
Yeah.
Because Terry died when he came back to the present.
But most recently there was the Death of Superman retelling in the Dark Multiverse crossovers.
Yeah, where Lois picked up the cape and became like an absolute madwoman. That was good.
That was so good. I just went back and read that. And if you want to read, I mean, obviously everybody loves this book right now because it's full of crazy goodness. But yeah, it's there's a ton of. I like it when there's deep cuts. So a lot of people just buy books based off of the cover, right?
Or they think it's going to be the next spec thing or the next popular thing. But when you take a look inside,
there's super fun, like deep cuts. If you haven't been a reader, like if somebody didn't read Public Enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would they know about that Superman?
They wouldn't.
So like it's an amalgam of Superman and Batman, but it also this one has Wonder Woman. And Carson and I were talking before the show, and we said like that Toy Man hasn't made an appearance in DC since Public Enemy.
He was in Metal.
You're right. He was in Metal.
Right.
You're right. But he hasn't been in continuity.
You're right.
In anything else. So
until that point, you know what I like about alternate realities? Sometimes there's an alternate reality where even your favorite, Legion of Superheroes or Superboy can be, ducks. And I just want to show up.
Yeah. There you go.
I finally framed this.
All right, let's check that out. Hold on, we'll put this on the big screen.
All right, there you go.
Look at the bottom of that sucker for Drew from Don Rosa.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh, yes.
This was a gift that Legend gave me last time we were together.
Damn, that looks good.
In Baltimore. And yeah, I think it looks really good.
I love Don Rosa.
Yeah.
He's an icon. Goddamn, he needs to get on. That's who we need.
And this is my favorite kind of DC comic cover. I love this era, and the cover copy was just so great.
10 center too, man. That's gold,
right? Yeah, those 10 cent, 12 cent DC comics. That's those are the ones that I like. And I haven't delved into a lot of the stories. A lot of them are cover buys for me just because I love how iconic they look and how great the cover copy is. But yeah, like Duckburg, there's a Duck version of everybody in Duckburg. I mean, that's its own universe.
Got their own
right? Duck. And in the same vein, I'm sure a lot of people know that the My Little Pony universe, same thing. There's a pony version of just about everything. So all these universes, man, are just really alternate universes.
You know, one of the things I want to ask Carson, because in National DC Comics, you know, Flash issue 123, iconic issue where Jay Garrick and Barry Allen meet for the first time, which we all know lead into one of the greatest freaking storylines of all time. You know, down the road every year, the JSA would meet the JLA. And Carson, you love Crisis, man. You love not only the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, but you love all the Crises so much. Tell us a little bit about the things you love about alternate realities, especially when it comes to DC Comics. Because DC, man,
I also have a question.
DC. Wait. God dang, dude. DC, we're just talking about DC. You know?
Look, I know, but I want to piggyback on the fact that you're asking him a question by asking a question.
All right. You follow up and you ask him some stuff.
Does anybody know who Jason Starr is?
Nope.
Is he a little pony brony or something?
No. Ricky wanted to know, and I just wanted to address that we don't know who Ricky Starr is.
What the hell?
Or Jason Starr.
That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
I was reading the chat.
We got to pick that later.
By the way, he's a comic book writer from the 60s. He was.
Okay, yeah, I knew that. Ricky
Jason Starr.
It was
on
that
Twitter?
Starr. Yeah.
On Twitter? I don't know. He's
Shout
on
out to
Twitter.
Stay Puft 1983, by the way. That guy's awesome.
All right,
Yes.
Carson, what do you think?
His
man?
Instagram is solid.
Reality.
Yeah. So
Jason Starr, what do you think?
I'm really partial to the original Crisis. It's the first thing I really got into after the death of Superman and the reign of the Supermen. It's how I got to know the DC universe, basically. Talk about an insane way to get to know a universe. Like, you get to know the main DC continuity and then everything else it's like they've ever came up with and threw at the wall, like Earth 2, Earth S, Earth 3 with the evil Justice League, Earth X. Like, it's such a great, like, well, I guess we'll find out eventually if it's going to be a good walking on point, because I think Drew and Andy want to put it on Modern Men at some point. So we'll have a true litmus test of how, people in their late 30s and early 40s interpret this as the first time ever. I can't wait for that one. But anyway, I've always loved that type of stuff. And I always liked an Infinite Crisis where they went back to that and kind of analyzed some of these characters that were kind of just forced and wedged into the DC continuity. And it's a lot of fun, especially if you read the 12 Crisis, and then I think there's 7 Infinite Crisis. I really enjoy that read. But I also wanted to highlight one of the other things that got me back in the comics in the early 2000s. That's the Ultimate Universe. I think the Ultimate Universe is such a great way, especially at the time. Like, I had no idea what was going on in Spider-Man's main comic, and X-Men. They had like so many titles going on. And luckily they had New X-Men, which at least that roped me back in. But they also had like Extreme X-Men, which I didn't care too much for.
But extreme.
Yeah, they had those red sunglasses that people loved in the 90s. So 90s. But anyway, I lost my train of thought there for a second. The Ultimate Universe, like the first run titles are so good. And they're some of the best value reads you can find today. Almost every one of those books, maybe minus 1 or 2 books up until you get to the Miles first appearance, is pretty much just a dollar bin book at that point. So, like, as long as you can find like Ultimate Spider-Man #1, you can pretty much find any of those books for really affordable prices. So on Ultimate Spider-Man, you had Bendis and Bagley had an amazing 111 issue run on that, which I can't recommend that run enough. It's such a great starting point with that issue 1 going forward. And then you have Ultimate X-Men, which I was just showing these guys a couple copies I found for dirt cheap recently. But you had Mark Millar start that title off with the Kubert brothers, which, hey, you get both Kuberts. So what's not to like about that? Eventually, they brought in the Ultimates, Mark Millar once again, with some of Brian Hitch's best art he's done in his career. And then, of course, Legend, Ultimate Fantastic Four was the 4th pick they released. You had Bendis and Millar teamed up on that one. They had Adam Kubert, and then they eventually had Mark Millar and Greg Land on that one. So my boy from Terre Haute, Greg Land.
Issues 21, 22, 23, the first
Marvel Zombies, another crazy universe you can talk about in itself that just blew up after they did that. So, and then they even had the Ash versus, or the Army of Darkness versus the Marvel Zombies. That was a lot of fun too. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of gotten to the point today, or especially like maybe more on the DC side than the Marvel side. It almost seems like they're thriving a lot more on these alternate ideas and universes. Of course, especially with the Black Label. Like, they could put out like 3 Harley books now and kind of justify it because they're all Black Label in different universes. You can have one book that slowly incorporates the Watchmen and then have another book like Mr. Miracle that maybe it's in continuity, maybe it's not. That was never clearly answered. So I feel like more than ever, the companies are going toward this idea of like, maybe a mainline continuity isn't the most important thing. It's these characters and integrating them into, I don't want to say as many universes as possible, just putting them in this scenario where they're the most interesting, will thrive the most.
And one good thing you made up, Drew, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to go back to you, was Carson mentioned back-to-back Doomsday Clock and Tom King's Miracle, Mr. Miracle. But it's great stuff, a little different, never hurts, right, Drew? Yeah.
Well, I just think that the best things that DC has done, like in the past couple of years, have really been Elseworld stories. Mm-hmm. You got they garnered. Well, I wasn't a huge fan of it. They garnered a lot of attention with Batman Damned, and Black Label when that started. In the same way that White Knight universe really blew up in a way that made the Sean Gordon Murphy a household name amongst comic collectors. Before that, so he was known as a cover guy, and he had just a couple of really good runs.
Auction,
right? Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, show up on a Legends Live auction, just like us, just like you, gang. He's just like you, just a normal dude. But now he's a superstar who's in line to do. Was he doing Catwoman now? Is that what's coming up soon?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll probably buy a Sean Gordon Murphy Catwoman book, and I'm not one to buy one of those books. So, and they also did a good job with what's
about this girl? Speaking of Catwoman,
Cat. I think they've done a great job with like Deceased and the stuff they did with Injustice. These were not main continuities; they're alternate realities basically. So and they're fun books.
That's what I'm talking about. Kat Wren, what's some of the kick-ass stuff that you enjoy about the alternate realities in comic books? And has there been some good ones that really just stick in your mind as being some of the greatest reads you've ever read?
So I don't want to repeat too much that's already been mentioned. Of course, I love Dark Claw. We all love Dark Claw. But one of the ones I'm a couple of the ones that I'm really surprised no one's mentioned on here, Red Sun Superman.
Oh yeah.
Flashpoint.
Oh yeah, right. God, that was a damn good read.
That was insane. But the one that I think no one's gonna think of that I feel like 100% is so undervalued, and I know a lot of people that hate this storyline, and that's Justice League Gods and Monsters. So in Gods and Monsters, we have a Justice League, like the Trinity. But it's not the Trinity that we all know and love. Yes, it's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but it's none of the same characters. So instead of it being Bruce Wayne Batman, he's a scientist who literally is now a vampire. And
I've never read that, but I think I've seen the animated.
He's savage. He goes after the Harley in this universe, and he actually kills her. He drains her dry. He eats criminals.
Damn.
it's 100%. It's graphic and it's
That'll give you indigestion.
fantastic. It's fantastic. But leading on into the Superman, it's the son of Zod. And instead of it being a boy that was raised in Kansas, he was raised with illegal immigrants. And it's all the craziness that ensues there, as well as our Wonder Woman. Our Wonder Woman, instead of being from Themyscira and an Amazon, she is Highfather's granddaughter. She's Becca, a princess of New Genesis, and she was supposed to marry Darkseid's son. But instead, it kind of turned into a whole red wedding type situation, and they just killed off all of Apocalypse at this wedding. And basically it started out, it was a film, and there were a bunch of one-shots that came out at the same time. And I think it's fantastic. I would love to see more of this universe. It's way more brutal than what we normally get out of our Trinity that we all know and love. And it's a very different take on a lot of these characters. And I really respect that. I mean, it went to so many different levels that DC doesn't touch on normally.
Mm-hmm. I want to show some books here. This has been by my bed for a long time. It's the classic Tom Taylor Deceased. I think that's the first 6 issues or so. I definitely want to read this because there was that one week where Comic Core reviewed Deceased. Was it called Dead Planet? 5 years into the future.
Yep.
And it was Connor was the no, it was John Kent was Superman, and Damian was the Batman, and Wonder Girl was the
Yep.
Yeah, see, I had to read that one. Yeah, there it is. Deceased, Dead Planet with Drew's boy Sting. I mean, constant. Oh my God, double Sting! It's 2 Stings.
Legend. There's also Deceased, the Unkillables.
Oh, jeez, dude,
and
that's freaking awesome.
Red Hood is running that team.
God dang, dude!
Ace alongside him.
Oh my God,
Bat Hound.
Dude, freaking Red Hood. That's some kick-ass storytelling. This was one of my favorite. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Batman Adventures. You finally get the Deathstroke storyline of his self in the animated. But this one of my favorites, and I have not read Year 5 or the Injustice Master Universe, but I got the hard covers because they're hard. But, man, I love Tom Taylor's alternate, thing here where the Batman goes, Batman and Joker get teleported into that Injustice universe where they find out it's being ran by Superman because, Scarecrow's gas and Joker's mayhem caused him to think that Lois was Doomsday. So practically I don't even want, you all know the story. But anyway, that's a kick-ass read. Kat Wren mentioned this one, which they've also done an animated on. That's the Superman Red Sun.
Dude, Batman in that story is fantastic.
Be pretty good. See, I've never read this. I've always had this, and I knew we were going to go alternate reality, so I'm going to put this by the bed next to the Deceased book. And then, of course, you get an alternate future. Possibly same past, but alternate future, where you get some Frank Miller here with the Frank Miller, The Dark Knight Returns, which, they've done The Dark Knight Strikes Again, which I've heard gone too soon a little on that one, but hell, it's got Shazam in it. I haven't read that one yet. And then, of course, we had the DK3 that came out most recently. So you definitely got to check that one out as well. But so many great things from the alternate realities, or where the future is going to be a little different, or maybe the future is a little imperfect. You know what I mean? To quote some Marvel and some Maestro, if that's how you want to go on the show. But there's just so much good stuff out there. And one thing about these kinds of stories are they're a breath of fresh air. It's not the same old Pearls Fallen or the same origins. You may have the same origins, but you're going to have different, futures to it. And maybe instead of Martha getting killed and the pearls falling, what if freaking Tom and what if it's Bruce, Tom, and Jerry? They are the ones that die, and Martha lives, and she becomes Bat. Oh my God, look at that stuff. Now that's your All-Star Grant Morrison, right?
Oh, yeah.
Superman.
Damn. Another good example of
That's
a great alternate universe. And they also did the Earth 1 books.
Yep,
so
that's true.
Jeff Johns' Batman Earth 1 with Gary Frank, phenomenal artist, does some great work. One of my favorite artists. I know Drew likes Gary Frank. And then I think Volume 2 of this is getting ready to come up pretty soon. Green Lantern Earth 1, Gabriel Hardman.
Damn.
So just a complete alternate take on Hal Jordan and Kilowog. Highly recommended.
Dude, I love alternate realities. And, we've talked a lot tonight about comic books and how it's affected the comic book medium. But how about like movies and TV shows? Do y'all have any just freaking awesome movies or TV shows where they go along alternate universes or different futures? Ooh, look at Cat Ran Cat. Tell us, because you're the host of Cinema Figures, one of the best. Tell us a little bit about the meetup of these two characters.
So, yeah, we discussed this. Anywho, Cinema Figures official relaunch date August. Anywho, so Aliens and Predator have just recently come back in the news. Unfortunately, the mouse has gotten his gloved hands all over my horror icons, and hopefully we don't end up with some animated cutesy bullshit with the mouse. That's 100% what I'm hoping does not happen, because I want them to continue to be just as savage and just as brutal as what they are. But Aliens,
Disney can do that.
Aliens and Predator, they live in their own little worlds. They're completely separate, 100%. The aliens stay off here, predators are off here. They never intermingle until you get into this non-canon monstrosity that I love so much. So I've got Aliens versus Predator, as well as Aliens versus Predator Requiem in this. And neither one's canon for either of them. If I know so many people, they get so mad when you bring this up. Like, that's not an Aliens movie. That's not a Predator movie. It's like saying Freddy versus Jason. They're not canon, but they're kind of fantastic. That's another little like verses where they're completely on their own little thing, but all over the place. Fantastic.
And like you said, sometimes even though they're not in canon, those are the best stories, because you go in there, you're not expecting much. You want to be entertained and you want to see some freaking blood and guts.
I mean, you're watching.
They also did a Alien versus Predator versus Batman. It was a fan-made movie, which was really good. Yeah. And those Aliens and Predators, they always reminded me of like the old Boris Karloff and when the Universal monsters would join forces. I always thought that I like that. But they also had to throw in those Three Stooges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did. Mad Mad World, directed by Mel Brooks, when they had all those freaking comedic icons, man. You had the Stooges in there. They would throw them in there just for shits and giggles, man. Damn, Chad with the history there. That's some good shit right there.
Hey, Chad adds something every now and then.
That was a good one, too. Which one?
I said Chad adds something every now and then.
Oh, hell yeah, he does. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. I want to say it was Downright Nerdy Podcast talked about that movie a while back, and I thought that was pretty damn awesome, because that was the first time I guess later in the years, Bela reprised his role as Dracula under the Universal Studios, which was really cool. And he did that at a lot older age, pre-Ed Wood, Plan 9.
Now, Boris Karloff was Frankenstein, right?
Yeah, he was a lot of stuff.
He was also the Mummy.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
Uncanny Karloff.
Damn, dude, uncanny freaking Karloff. He was in House of Dracula as just the mad scientist, because after Bride of Frankenstein and Son of Frankenstein, he never wanted to put that costume stuff on again. He was a tall, slender guy, and that stuff was bad on the old back. I think he must have been living out in the Midwest, man. They got that back issues over there. But I love the alternates, man. Drew Manchu, you're an alternate kind of guy. What are you into on movies, TV?
Oh,
Whoa.
that was going to take a
Whoa.
weird turn,
I,
man.
I think we
Whoa.
completely went to the next level. Drew, top or bottom?
I would say, like, I'm not into feet or anything.
Holy shit, don't talk about feet. Chad's already laughing. He's already laughing.
We
now.
lost Mark.
Oh my. Oh,
That's where Mark draws the line.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I can't.
If you start talking about the birds and the bees, Mark gets nervous. He's like,
The birds and the bees.
1 year anniversary.
The birds and the bees.
You know,
Are you 400 years old, Chad?
Yeah, Mark, why don't you show them what you
And
got for
the
anniversary?
bees.
Did you guys know that it is Catman's
Nice.
1 year anniversary?
I was
just the other
gonna.
day, wasn't it?
It was Tuesday. They already brought it up.
No,
They already brought it up.
Yeah,
And Mark
let's
is
see,
blushing
let's see what let's see what
Here.
this dude bought her.
Mark, what'd you get her?
Yeah, yeah.
Come here.
What'd you get her, Mark?
Show him what I brought. Show him what I got you.
Silver.
Show him what your present was.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
That's a watch. Can you tell us what
Do
time
like
it is
heart
with your
rate?
watch?
That's a really nice watch. Now,
Brand new
Mark,
smartwatch.
look me in
Better
the eyes.
watch.
Mark,
Can't
look me
get
in
the
the
heart
eyes.
up.
What did you get her?
Mark, what'd you get her? Mark.
He
What
bought
did
her
you
a
get
bag
her?
of frozen Doritos.
Mark, what did you do? Or what did you do?
Joel Monterrey or Jose Ole? Which one did you get?
Mark, did you
Mark, I told you you had to get her something, or I was gonna.
No. I know.
What
Are
did
you
you,
serious, Mark?
Mark? Did you? How did you fucked up your first anniversary?
Sweet Jesus, we're gonna have to replace you.
Oh, yeah.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What did you get? Did you do something?
Not very romantic.
No. No.
Oh, you know, times are tough, Mark.
You
No,
really
no, no.
That's
really not
every
Mark.
day during the pandemic. That dude was essential.
Is somebody signed into the Comic Core on YouTube right now?
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm on-
we need to take Mark's wrench.
Take his wrench. Barrett, take his wrench.
I don't know. If you take his wrench, he may talk to you late at night at
fine.
3 a.m.
That's fine. I have all the card numbers. I'm just gonna buy myself a present.
That's kind of. Did you forget? Did you honestly forget?
Yeah, did you
I honestly
forget?
did not forget. No.
No.
You just didn't care.
You just,
No, it's not that I didn't care.
It seems that way, Mark.
You got her the
It seems that way.
Starfire statue, not
Mark,
You
look,
knew if
I
this
am
came
I
up,
am
you
Team
were gonna
Mark
get five
all the
guys
time,
really-
okay?
I can't believe four
this.
guys are going to come after you. You knew that this was going to happen. Go, get in your box.
Mark, I'll try to help you out. At least tell us the big present is in the mail.
Well,
Fake presents in the mail.
It just hasn't shipped that. It's the
Oh,
stupid
it's fine.
Yeah.
postal
It's
service.
fine.
It's on its
I'm-
way. It must be COVID. You know, must be.
I'm currently
must be
currently
lost.
looking at buying some animation cells.
I swear to God, I thought you were
I
like,
saw
I
it
am
say that.
currently looking for a replacement.
you know, he's probably you're going to be waiting
I'm
as
kind of
long
attached
as
to
Chris
this one.
Barrett's waiting for that yard sale.
You're just attached to him because you broke him in. You can train another one. I'm just telling you. You can.
There's
train
not going to be any sales on this channel.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of.
if
there's
there
a lot of
is- if
time
there is a
and
sale on
commitment
this
into breaking
channel,
this one in.
I
This one
will
took
gladly
years.
give you my address because I am not sending shit out.
Yeah,
Barrett, it's not going to happen.
Barrett, I got you a little box of some goodies, man. No doubt about it. You're going to get a lot of FF because FF is the world's greatest comic magazine, despite their movies not being too great. But, you know, even that brand new Fantastic Four movie, it got, you know, crapped on and everything. But just kind of going in and watching it on Disney Plus, if I just said to myself, it's just an alternate reality Fantastic Four, and it was a scientific sci-fi movie visiting other dimension, hey, not too shabby. But, you know, some of my favorite movies, of course, Drew knows because this was a long-running gag on me and Drew's old show we used to be a part of. Back to the Future, one of my favorites. Of course, Ashton Kutcher and the Butterfly Effect was freaking amazing because you got to see a lot of different futures that were different by whatever choices he made. Of course, freaking... just what else, man? There's just so many good movies.
Ledge, I got a question, and I'm going to ask everybody.
Oh, ow! Hi.
Wow.
So here's a question
Earbuds.
for everybody.
Question for
Let's
everybody.
all be soothsayers on this, and can we predict the future?
Is that a Phillips or a Flathead?
Maybe.
It's broke.
Oh,
Aw.
Just like your mic and your headphones.
Yeah, everything's jacked up over here right now.
I'll send
But
you-
anyway,
hey, I'm
so-
gonna send you some Gorilla Glue.
no, I'm good.
Everything's
I-
foobar.
Everything.
So here's the question. I want you guys to pick a book 30 days, like let's say September. It's going to come out in September.
oh
Pick-
hell.
Pick a book that you guys think is going to be hot, which is going to be a spec book.
One of my favorites is by this awesome writer who's currently writing Doom. His name's Christopher Cantwell, and he's coming out with Iron Man 1. This thing's going to have about 5 different variants, the cover A, cover B, cover C, cover D, and a blank variant. So any Iron Man fan, if you like Tony Stark, I think you ought to get on the Tony Stark train, man. Dead man walking, well, I don't know if he'll be walking.
You'll have to stay tuned to see
Yeah,
it.
stay tuned. That's right, man.
All right, now what's interesting about that is that Tony's been gone for so long. Arno is the Iron Man right now, so
that's true.
So that's going to drive people to it.
I'm just saying, maybe Tony Stark's going to be coming back as Iron Man. That's just me. But that was mine. Drew, how about you?
All right, Drew, you can pick a book.
Man, it's hard to say.
All right, I can come back to you.
How about no 30 days out from now? I say that
September area.
okay, I say that X of Swords, the new X-Men event. I think that's going to pick up some steam.
Okay, very cool. Carson.
I barely even know what comes out next week. I'm just going to tell everyone to keep buying them Turtle books.
I think
They're
that's really good call because that's
The Last
coming out.
Ronin is going to be great.
Last Ronin's coming soon, yeah.
Once again, there you go, Legend. So
Yeah, I love that.
ties into both
Turtle.
topics. So there you go. Last Ronin #1. Get your what is it, the Peach Momoko cover?
Yeah.
That'll sell some Peach Momoko.
That'll sell.
All
So
right,
about
Cat
that
Ranch.
Peach Momoko. Well, I'm Googling what comes out in September.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick
Oh,
one.
hold on. I think I got this. All right, Batman, 3 Jokers.
Okay.
I don't think that's a real thing.
I think all of those different variant covers are going to sell like hotcakes.
All
I
right.
think 3 Jokers gets canceled, pushed back, released as digital
It
only,
says
and
September.
finally comes back out as a black label book 4 years from now.
I am gonna go with
Why are we so negative?
Lock and Key and Sandman crossover.
Huh.
Ooh, that would be a damn good Neil Gaiman's Sandman with Joe Hill's Lock and Key. 2
Yep.
excellent writers. I mean, you got Neil Gaiman, one of Howler Mouse's favorites, and then you got Joe Hill, one of Chad's favorites. Lock and Key and Sandman. God, that's a damn nightmare if you ask me.
You
Yeah.
know, speaking of gaming, how much longer are we going to talk about this?
I'm ready.
Carson, did you like that one? He said, speaking of Gaiman.
What happened to Cat?
I think Cat Follies killed Mark.
Oh, it's over.
It happened.
She transcended Mark.
Right into the laptop.
She transcended Mark and became a swirling circle of white on black.
So, Drew, where can people find you?
They can find me right here on the Comic Core. You can find me Monday on Modern Men. We're going to be reading Invincible volumes 1 and 2, which is going to be great. And 2 weeks out, we're going to be doing Super Sons of Tomorrow. Chad, I think you should join us for that.
There might be
Actually, there may have been a more wild card played. We'll let you know.
What happened now? Did my wild card get wild carded?
So
Kind of.
yeah, and
Fucking done here.
no,
I am taking my talents to South Beach.
just hold on, and I'll tell you after this.
Beach diet, man.
We had a phone call literally right before we went on the air.
Within the last hour and a half.
Yeah, you'll like it though.
Good.
It's
Will
a
I
good
like it?
Yeah, you will.
You will.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
I got to give some shout out, Carson, if that's okay.
That breaks my heart, Chad. I really like Super Sons of Tomorrow.
I know, I understand, but I got to give some shout outs.
I can't believe I'm getting overruled on the first wild card.
Yeah, well, you had to on this one.
Mac.
All right.
Cat Rend. Is Mark alive? Oh, he's alive.
He's
So if
alive.
you guys haven't checked this out, if you're a comic,
NordVPN hates me.
if you're an original comic art an aficionado, go to Comic Art Fans. Our friend Bill Cox has it. They have some really, really, really cool opportunities for some original artwork in here, and it's super super hot. They've got everybody. Also, if you get a chance, go check out Splash Page Comic Art. And the gentleman that runs this original art site, his name is Mark Hay. And big shout out to Mark Hay, because he also will be bringing Jock. That's right, Jock will be at Mainframe Comic Con August 15th and 16th. And he'll be on a panel with none other than Scott Snyder, and there may be an answer finally to a certain book that it's not a Joker cover.
It's officially a Joker cover as of it's listed as an iconic Joker cover and the Joker 80th anniversary that just came out.
No, it's not. It's not the Joker cover.
It's not the Joker.
Stay tuned. Check out Mainframe Comic Con and the Daily Villain and some of their other opportunities. Drew's going to be heading up their social media with some big announcements. You know what? There's only 12 people watching us. Hey, Frank Miller's coming.
Dun dun dun.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool
I'm going to get some answers to what was supposed to happen in All-Star Batman and Robin.
So,
Aspar.
that's all I got, man.
He
That's all I
bangs
got.
Black Canary.
Good luck.
He
Dude,
does.
you had
He paints a whole house yellow.
We're gonna have so much fun. Mainframe Comic Con
Makes
being
Robin eat a rat.
up the Mainframe Comic Con channel. You're going to get to see all your famous Comic Core hosts help out and do what we do best, and that's entertain each and every one of you. And we're going to be talking to a lot of awesome celebrities in the comic book world and the pop culture world too. If you're interested in the great legend, check him out on youtube.com/Shardowdy95, where the legend's been going live on Saturday and Sunday mornings before my kids wake up and get on the computer and take over the comic book room. Also, I was talking to the Cosmic King, Chris Barrett. You can find him exclusively, not only here in the chat, but you can see him over there at Discord, along with Ricky Marchstack, Scott Evans, man. We got a great, awesome crew. Daymares is over there on Discord. Me, Drew, Kat, Carson, too, and Chad, the Cosmic King. He wants you to finally make some appearances on Discord, my friend.
Somebody show me how to do that.
Yeah, well,
it's like 24/7 Barrett, bro. Like,
dude,
It's all Barrett all the time.
I just learned how to tag like 2 months ago.
dude, Donnie was there one time. Donnie the Mastodon hopped in the Discord, and dude, you could put pictures on there.
I was just saying something nice about Chris Barrett, and I look over at the chat, and he says, "I'm not LeBron. I'm clearly LeBron."
Later fan Saw is family. I love it.
The Saw is family.
Carson,
I'm the LeBron of this family.
Where can we find you?
Oh man, if you search Seawoodard19 on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, I'm available in all those mediums. I actually went live today at 6 p.m. Showed some things like, I don't know, some giant sizes and some real life giant sizes and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that original?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I just got this the other day.
Shut up. Nice job, man.
Gorgeous.
Treasury.
I
Got a great
have-
price on it too, with a bunch of other things included.
Yeah.
Do you
Because that's how he does.
you'd have to come and get it. I can't send it to you. But because I don't send anything to anybody. But I have that box set of Muhammad Ali and the toy figures on that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I've seen that set. That's a super set.
I'll give that to you because I need to get rid of all this stuff.
Thanks,
In box
man.
or out of box, Chad? Is it in
And I
there?
got your cat in a bag still.
Oh yeah.
He might be dead by now, but
It's probably dead.
Then
Talking
yeah,
about
you,
beating a dead cat.
you can catch us on Modern Men every Monday. We'll be reading Invincible this Monday. I think we're going to talk
And we're
about.
never gonna read the book I picked for my wild card.
I think we're going to talk also. What were we going to talk about this week? I think it's stealth buying, the art of the stealth buy, because I don't like to pay full price. I don't go after these spec books with full prices. I want to find them in the dollar bins and all that stuff. So we'll talk more about that. And Drew's read, it got delayed. I'm going to read that story. I want to read it too.
It's the
But-
new Marvels.
I would love to be on that. I have that. Maybe you do like a Modern Men 2-day.
Yeah, we can do a Modern Men special. But anyway, you'll hear more about that special very soon.
Every
once
episode of
Chad
Modern
tells
Menace
me
special.
I can talk about it. Or just go back and watch The Why the Last Man because no one else watched it. So there you go.
I did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Curse the premieres.
That's the only Marvel you need.
But we'll be live this Monday.
This might help sell it to people who didn't watch it. If you want to hear me talk about intersectional feminism, watch our review, Why the Last Man.
In the middle of work, I got in the chat and I nominated Drew for Woman of the Year.
It's true.
So, yeah, it's worth watching the show. It's fun.
Cat Ren, how about you, kiddo?
Oh, okay. So you can find me on Cat Ren Figures on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, of course. Also, Cinema Figures. We have a relaunch coming in August where, since
Mark, you don't get to talk.
May or may not be back to school season. So we're starting off right with sorority movies.
Is Mark gonna do the homeschool learning?
No.
He didn't get his wife anything for their first anniversary. I don't think that learning is something he does.
Can't read real well.
Also, this weekend, I believe it's going to be available sometime tomorrow on Simpleman's channel. I'm on there with him and Bolo and some special guests, so I'm pretty excited about that. That was a lot of fun to film. So we got a premiere on that. Not going to spoil anything, but we're talking about some big announcements for the Simpleman family, as well as other craziness that is ensuing over there. Also, some inflatable sharks news was broke on there.
The three Jokers
sharks.
of the Comic Corps.
It's happening, okay? I've cast people. I brought in someone else that's going to help with a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I can take off some time and drive down and visit you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know. I'll drive.
You ready to fight some sharks?
You want to come with me? Let's go, Drew.
Dude, if I can take a week off to go shoot a movie in Indiana.
I can drive up
ready
north.
To fight some sharks?
I don't know if I'd go see Cat and Mark though. I may go slide by this place and get the 2 pizza and the 32-ounce soft drink combo.
All I'm saying is,
God, could you see him sitting in the once they open it up and you're allowed back in the food area, he'd just be sitting there all day long eating the hot dogs.
You're allowed to dine in here.
Drinking the Coke, going newsstand.
Hot dogs straight from
Carson's not even that far from me.
But the thing would be like all the other employees
newsstand.
It'd be like, who is this crazy dude? Why is he just screaming newsstand? And Carson would be like, I don't know. I think he's got Tourette's or some shit.
No,
Carson slides to the back and calls security.
He's gonna be sitting right behind Carson the entire day. He's just gonna follow Carson around, just eating pizza.
God, that shit's good.
What sick so quick. Bring back the hot dogs and the pizza. I'm definitely.
What's Chris Barrett saying? I'll do a Zoom meeting for production. What is that for? What's that regarding?
Shark.
I'll do a Zoom meeting for production.
For inflatable sharks.
Inflatable sharks.
You need Chris Barrett to produce.
Legend, the horses are sick.
If Chris Barrett wants to pad out the kill count a little bit.
Look, Barrett, we don't need producers. What we need is executive producers, which means you need to bring some cash to the table.
I know what we need.
What I